evening. I'm Alan Martin.
Good evening. I'm Sharon Chin. Welcome to the 16th Annual Bay Area Jefferson Awards celebration, brought to you virtually this pandemic year. Tonight, we honor 61 quiet heroes, ordinary people who are doing extraordinary public service in the Bay Area.
Now, some have been volunteering for years, and others jumped into action to meet critical needs in this challenging year. Here's a look back.
You're awesome. This guy is awesome.
You almost can't put words to it.
I can't explain it. It means so much to me.
All I'm doing is letting you know that I see you, that you are not forgotten, that you are a special soul.
One person can make a huge difference if they make that first step.
I don't need to be remembered. I just want people to be inspired.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Sometimes people don't realize that they're capable and have the potential unless they try something new.
It just broke my heart to see so many people who were struggling.
I'm humbled that we can be helpful for them.
Stand around Mr. Heller.
It's just this wonderful feeling of knowing that what we have done or something that we have done has contributed to the well-being of somebody else.
We deliver hope free of charge.
It's better than sitting at home worrying about your pains and aches, and you meet a lot of beautiful, beautiful people.
I love it when you say it's impossible. It's just making me stronger, stronger. I love it when you say there's no way. It's bringing out the fighter, the fighter.
I kind of saw this as like an opportunity where I can kind of use like a skill I learned to help give back.
I just want to make a difference and be the voice of those people who may not feel like they have a voice.
With the little we have, if we can contribute and give and share, we can actually all rise together.
In fact, I should thank you.
It is what gets me out of bed every day, and the fact that I get to do it with such amazing people is just like bonkers.
Let me hear you say it's impossible, it's impossible.
This just seemed natural because people needed help, and I had the time and the ability to do it, so it made me feel good.
Check on your neighbors, check on your friends, check on other businesses, check on your community.
Now, here in the Bay Area, we're proud to share the stories of Jefferson Award winners on television, radio, online, on social media, and via live stream on CBS and Bay Area. Please welcome Kevin Walsh, President and General Manager of KPIX TV, and Greg Nemitz, Senior Vice President and Marketing Manager of Entercom Radio San Francisco.
Welcome everyone to the Jefferson Awards. It's my distinct pleasure on behalf of all the employees at KPIX TV and the Jefferson Award Committee to thank each and every one of you for the commitment that you've put forth in the Bay Area. Tonight, each of you are winners and will continue to be winners. Just a few examples of what you're going to see tonight. We have a volunteer counselor who helps kids whose parents are incarcerated. We have a 100-year-old woman who's been working at a museum for 38 years. We have teenagers that are building websites for small businesses for the Black community. These are just a couple of examples of the creativity, the dedication of what we've been able to do in 2020 and as we enter 2021. The Jefferson Awards has been a fabric of this community for 16 years with our partnership. We will continue to do so and work with them because the efforts and the work that they've put forth and the winners that you're going to see tonight is so impressive and speaks volumes of what the Bay Area can do and make the Bay Area such a great place to live and work. Thank each and every one of you, and have a good evening.
Hi, I'm Greg Nemitz with EntercomRadio.com and KCBS. In 2020, heroes were everywhere. Delivering meals, caring for the sick, taking care of people who can't take care of themselves. And I felt that many in society did a great job of expressing gratitude towards heroes in the past year. That's what the Jefferson Awards and Multiplying Good is all about. The mission of the organization is to honor those who serve and help, and also teach young people how to serve and help. Those who serve, those who help, often they serve silently. They don't do it for the recognition or the awards. They're driven by a deeper purpose. Many of the Jefferson Award recipients cringe when they see the spotlight on them. They're not in it for the glory. They don't do it to be heroes. But this is the night we shine the spotlight on them. This is the night we express a thank you to all the heroes, to all the people, to all the heroes that we're honoring tonight. Please take a bow. If your stories inspire just one person to do something to help a neighbor or a stranger, then it's all worthwhile. Thank you to the heroes.
During the year when we really needed to hear good news, the Jefferson Awards Parent Foundation Multiplying Good stepped up its campaign to honor volunteers. Please welcome the CEO of Multiplying Good, Hillary Schaefer.
I'm Hillary Schaefer, CEO of Multiplying Good. What a year. At Multiplying Good, and in partnership with KPIX and CBS Radio, we are truly lucky to have a slightly different vantage point on 2020. In our commitment and firm belief in the power of service to others, we went into March dreaming tens of millions of people would wake up every day and lean in to help. And we were right. Tonight alone, we are seeing the broadest representation of that. From a 90-year-old Holocaust survivor telling his story in schools and communities to combat hate, to a teacher who organized a campaign where educators donated a portion of their stimulus checks to the undocumented. From neighbors, groups, and all sorts of individuals feeding frontline workers, the homeless and seniors, to a woman who built a website connecting PPE donors with those who need PPE all over the nation. And then there were the teenagers, demonstrating that the next generation is filled with empathetic leaders and change makers, collecting books, designing websites for Black-owned businesses, and actually teaching classes to aid in online learning. These are a mere smattering of the extraordinary. We are generating ripples of good, are the glue to our communities, and the solution to coming back together. We celebrate, support, and multiply everything you do.
In 2020, we introduced you to 61 outstanding citizens. Every year, our selection committee chooses 5 of them to be considered for a national honor from the Jefferson Awards national ceremony later this year.
The committee looked at impact, inspiration, innovation, sustainability, and need. Here are the 5 Bay Area silver medalists.
It's the age of the customer.
More than 150 people, many in the middle of their career, come to Larry Apke's class looking for a new technology job. He started teaching the free course several years ago.
It really almost broke my heart to see these people. A lot of them were struggling. They were unemployed for the first time maybe in their careers.
Larry and Dave Rawlings, friends since childhood, founded the Job Hackers in San Francisco 3 years ago. Drawing on the pair's technology background, the all-volunteer nonprofit is bringing diversity to the tech industry. The average age of participants is 43, half are ethnic minorities, and 6 in 10 are women returning to the workforce.
They get up to speed on the modern way of thinking because they've dropped out to take care of someone older or younger. They have a gap and they can't get back in.
The Job Hackers 6-week, 18-hour course teaches Agile and Scrum, the new language and way of working in tech. 750 people in the Bay Area and around the world have gone through the curriculum that prepares them to test for their professional Scrum Master certification. Dave says many graduates are getting management jobs. Half earn a six-figure salary.
So it's a pretty diverse group, and they are getting jobs. About 30 to 40%, even in today's environment, get jobs within 90 days of taking the class.
Lisa Huang North landed a job as a product manager.
Having the skills I gained from the program, I was able to work without engineering literally from day one.
Lisa's also taken advantage of the program's networking and mentorship, first as a student and later as a volunteer mentor. And instead of paying for classes, Job Hackers asks participants to donate their time in the community. Valerie Freitas, who's got a job as project manager, was glad to give.
Paying it forward makes you feel good. So I think it's just a win-win all around for everybody.
Including Larry and Dave.
It's just this wonderful feeling of knowing that what we have done or something that we have done has contributed to the well-being of somebody else.
So for providing free training for the unemployed and bringing diversity to the tech industry, this silver medal goes to Larry Apke and Dave Rawlings.
First, we would like to thank the selection committee for choosing us.
And KPIX for doing such a great job telling our story. For those of you who wonder if somebody can make a difference, you need look no further than the Jefferson Awards. Every week, KPIX chooses somebody who's making a difference in the world. All of these recipients deserve it, which makes us even more humbled by accepting this award. We founded the Job Hackers a little over 3 years ago as a way of giving back and increasing diversity in tech. Our free Agile and Scrum class provides people with an understanding of knowledge work so that they can get tech jobs. We want to thank our partners, and I want to thank my wife for all of her support.
I want to thank my co-founder, Dave Rawlings, for his drive and determination. Without him, the Job Hackers wouldn't be where it is today. I want to thank Edward Gordon for facilitating the Agile MBA class with me over the years. Thank you to my wife, Jana, my sons, Igor, Vadim, and Darian, for their love and support. I want to thank PG&E for giving me a day job that is rewarding and challenging and allowing me to do the work that I do outside of my day job. And finally, I want to thank the entire Job Hackers community, our participants, partners, and volunteers. Your passion and determination are an inspiration to us and the reason that the Job Hackers exist. Thank you.
7 years ago, Alicia Yepes went from client to employee, helping families needing assistance at what is now North Marin Community Services.
That helped us.
As the nonprofit's bilingual administrative coordinator, this single mother of two remembers well her tough times.
We were facing bankruptcy, home was foreclosed, just had my second child.
We typically are finding families in crisis.
Cheryl Paddock, CEO of North Marin Community Services, sees crisis happening more and more.
They can't afford food, they can't afford rent, and they can't afford subsidized childcare, all basic needs in order to be contributing members of their community.
So after running Novato Youth Center for 10 years, Cheryl oversaw its merger with another nonprofit, Novato Human Needs Center. And in 2018, North Marin Community Services was born. With an annual budget that's grown to $4.2 million, NMCS now serves 6,000 people a year, offering programs such as rent assistance, subsidized child care, mental health services, and a food pantry. About 20% of the operating budget comes from government funding. The rest, private donors and fees. Board member Jim Duckworth says Cheryl is the driving force behind NMCS's success.
Her skills as a leader were responsible for that merger. It wouldn't have happened without her.
As a former recipient of services and now the first person that families interact with, Alicia is extremely grateful to Cheryl and her staff.
I was being hugged and comforted and supported all around.
With the merger behind them, Cheryl sees nothing but a future of successfully helping others.
I just want to make a difference and be the voice of those people who may not feel like they have a voice.
So for more than a decade of helping community members in need in North Marin, this silver medal goes to Cheryl Paddock.
Thank you so much for this Jefferson Award Silver Medal. I accept it on behalf of our team of 290 dedicated volunteers, board members, staff, and community partners who've worked so hard throughout 2020 to respond to this pandemic and the increase in demand that we've seen for our services. This year has been a phenomenal, rewarding, and yet challenging year, Many people may not be aware, but California has the highest child poverty rate throughout the U.S. 1 in 5 children live in a household that has poverty. And these children, they have a 5 times more likely chance of living in poverty as adults. So how do we break that intergenerational cycle of poverty that is affecting their success at home, at school, and in life? At Northburn Community Services, we're focusing this year on several essential safety net services. In fact, we've served 8,400 people since the pandemic started, and that's more people than we typically serve in an entire 12-month period. I can tell you the reason this happened is because of our donors who invest in our work, our staff, our volunteers, and people who truly believe that everyone needs a chance. This award means a lot to our organization because we know that this work continues throughout 2021. I'd like to thank the Jefferson Awards, the production team, and Multiplying Good for this recognition.
Jessica Choi and her volunteers have helped deliver more than 850,000 pieces of PPE to frontline workers in every state in the nation.
Sometimes they would cry on the phone when we reach out to them, and that really touches me.
Jessica developed the website getppe.org in late March after hearing how her relatives in the medical field couldn't find PPE as COVID cases surged.
They had to put them in paper bags and write their names on it so that they can keep on using it for at least a week because they just had such a short supply.
Jessica, an executive at a Santa Clara education technology company, managed to build the basic website in one weekend.
I had to learn from scratch on what to do.
Then a colleague at work built the algorithm that connects PPE donors with those who need the equipment. The match is based on geography and areas hardest hit by coronavirus. So far, more than 40,000 volunteers have helped ship essentials like masks, gowns, gloves, and hand sanitizer to more than 540 hospitals, nursing homes, food pantries, and schools. Dr. Anne-Marie Muramoto received 100 face shields at her dental practice on Hawaii's Big Island.
We couldn't find enough. We were getting the 3D printed ones, and they were breaking really easily.
And donors like Tiffany Herbert in Colorado Springs get a chance to give. She's sewn more than 3,000 free masks and scrub caps for hospitals and senior living facilities in more than 20 states.
The pictures behind me and the cards that I get from people I send masks to, I face that when I sew, and that keeps me going.
Yeah, so there's 10 in there.
Tiffany applauds Jessica's initiative.
I'm just so proud of her and what she's done.
So for developing an efficient way to match PPE donors to recipients, this silver medal goes to Jessica Choi.
Thank you so much for the incredible honor. I wouldn't be here today without my amazing team. Ramani and Kranti Desaraju powering our donor matching algorithm and technology. Tiffany Herbert and Rich McKnight for steering our operations, and Jennifer Tyree and Kelly Canning for mobilizing our maker community. When I started Gets PPE back in March, my goal was to get 1,000 personal protective equipment donated. Today, we crossed 1,050,000 masks, face shields, and gowns donated to healthcare facilities in need across all 50 states. I'm inspired by all of our donors, many of whom are makers who spend countless hours sewing masks and printing face shields at home. GetsPPE.org is an example of the power of people working together. We provided a platform for our community to see what was needed and how they can help. Thousands of our donors in all parts of the country rallied together for one common mission: to keep our frontline workers and caregivers safe during this unprecedented time. Lastly, thank you to the Jefferson Awards Committee, KPIX, and my family, especially my 2 nieces, Madeline and Emmeline Yee, for their tremendous support. I hope you all keep safe during this time.
Freddie Williams hits the streets of Oakland with the sunrise. It's a city the 23-year-old recent graduate of the Oakland Police Academy serves with pride.
Yep.
But it's also a career choice he knows will have its challenges.
Unfortunately, being a police officer, you do have to take people to jail.
A sad situation Freddie understands all too well. His own father has been incarcerated for most of Freddie's life, so he relates to families of the people he will arrest.
but I can actually provide resources to the family that might help him.
Resources like Project Avery, a nonprofit founded in 1999 at the gates of San Quentin Prison. The program provides the children of incarcerated parents with a 10-year commitment of mentorship, summer camps, and other self-esteem building activities like horseback riding.
Healing and
Executive Director Zach Whelan says empowering these kids is key to breaking the cycle of incarceration.
We're working on that social emotional development, and we're helping them heal.
It's that consistency and commitment that drew Freddie to Project Avery. He's a counselor now, but not that long ago, he was attending the camp.
I've come back every year since I was a camper. I have not missed 1 year of summer camp because Avery has given everything to me as a kid. Peanut butter and mustard.
Freddie's been a Project Avery kid since he was 8 years old, the age at which the program reaches out to children in need. So far, it's served more than 1,400 kids, like 11-year-old camper Truly Jones, who sees Freddie as his role model.
It gives me the confidence to be like, okay, I want to do that so I can do what he did.
Freddie's excited about his future with the Oakland Police Department, crediting Project Avery for his success.
This program has helped shape me into the man I am today.
But those who know him say it's the community that will benefit the most.
He's going on to the streets. He's going to be meeting kids just like himself. He knows how to help heal them. Perfect.
So for helping other young people feel empowered and safe, this silver medal goes to Freddie Williams.
First off, I want to thank the Jefferson Awards and KPIX for this incredible honor. Project Avery is an incredible organization for children who have parents incarcerated. I was 8 years old when I first started with Project Avery. First day of summer camp, not really knowing exactly why I'm there, but I know that all the other kids there have something in common with me. It took me time to figure it out, but once I did, I realized that the other children in this program have their parent out of their life, just like me. Project Avery helped me understand that I was able to share my feelings, my emotions on how I felt about my dad being out of my life for such a long period of time. The counselors focused on a lot of things like consistency, which is something that's very important for a child who's missing a part of their life, their parent. And there's a hole that needs to be filled, and Project Avery was that hole for me. I also want to thank the Oakland Police Department for providing me an opportunity to serve the Oakland community. First agency I applied for and first agency that hired me, and I'm humbly honored to be a part of such a great organization. I want to thank my fellow officers who keep me safe every day. You know, we do what we can for our community, and I just want to say thank you to everybody for helping me get to where I am today. I'm completely honored to be a part of such an incredible family. I've been working on being a police officer since I was about 14 years old. It was a lifelong dream of mine. I'm honored to be able to accomplish that dream with the assistance of all my family, friends, Project Avery. So I want to say thank you to everybody out there.
To reach 450 members of the Havasupai village at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, Dr. Chad Hamill has taken a helicopter.
Another way is an 8-mile hike by foot or pack mule. There's no driving.
The Havasupai were so isolated there was no high school, so students had to go to boarding school out of state. Online learning was not an option until the village got high-speed internet.
So this is a game changer.
Dr. Hamill credits Oakland-based MuralNet, where he's a board member.
We want to chew off a piece of the problem.
Martín Casado co-founded the nonprofit in 2017.
Less than 70% of some rural areas of tribal countries have connectivity.
Martín, along with MuralNet CEO Mariel Triggs, helps tribal nations build and operate their own reliable broadband networks.
Almost all of our builds use existing infrastructure. So I don't have to build a tower. I just have to get something high enough. So I'm talking about rooftops that we've done on existing towers.
Mariel climbs towers to install the hardware. The work takes half a day. The cost, $10,000 to $15,000. With donated funds, MuralNet has connected a dozen communities like New Mexico's Zuni tribe.
We're about 40 miles south of Gallup.
College and Career Center Director Hayes Lewis says for the first time, thousands of students have Wi-Fi to do homework at home.
Many of our students were just carrying the phones, trying to find a place where they could get the signal.
MuralNet is working with 24 other communities like the Makah tribe in Washington.
That's going to be the biggest benefit.
Grant writer Crystal Hathaway says residents will have the option of virtual doctor visits, saving hours driving to the nearest city.
MuralNet's impact on Indian country is going to be felt for many years to come.
In fact, MuralNet helped change FCC policy to give tribal lands priority to claim free, unlicensed bandwidth that's reserved for education. Nearly 300 tribal lands have applied so they can build their own high-speed internet networks. They're grateful to Mariel and Martine.
There's never anything like we can't do this or we can't do that. Let's find a way to make it work.
Martine and Mariel say their work has only begun.
We're going to continue to do this.
The next one is the sustainability, and that is the next boulder that we are trying to take a jackhammer to.
So for connecting 750,000 people on tribal lands with reliable broadband, this silver medal goes to Martine Casado and Mariel Triggs.
Thank you so much for this award. 65% of Native people living on tribal lands have access to fixed broadband services, which means 1 in 3 do not. COVID has revealed how deeply the digital divide affects students, but it isn't just about education. It's about economic opportunities, healthcare, social services, cultural revitalization, and community connectedness. When we launched MuralNet, we saw the biggest barrier was infrastructure cost. But as we overcame this with a low-cost tech stack, it was apparent that there were far greater challenges from policy, monopolistic practices, and service providers, and more. That's why last year we spent countless hours petitioning the FCC and testifying on Capitol Hill so that many of the 574 federally recognized tribes could be granted spectrum. We couldn't have done this without our volunteers, donors, partners, and the Native advocates and experts we worked along with. We thank all of them. And now, we're focused on building sustainable networks that will impact tribal communities for decades to come. And we hope you'll join us in this endeavor.
First, I just want to say thank you. It means a lot to get this type of recognition. The last year was really tough. Yet, things really came together for Mural. We've been working on this for 5 years. And to have it come together under such difficult circumstances really show how communities get together. We think this created a foundation that we're going to be building on going forward. I'm really excited for the work that's yet to do. I really wanted to say thank you.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Congratulations to all of our silver medal winners.
Indeed. And now we'd like to recognize all of the year's winners whose stories of service inspired us throughout 2020. Marion Aiken.
Hina Alvarado.
Ronnie Taylor and Jason Angeles.
Jennifer Arize. Todd Arize.
Ralph Bauer.
Bob Butler.
Arthur Chan.
Darius and Joelle Dunlap.
Regina Evans.
Luana Vitoy.
Josh Gata, Vincent Su, and Eddie Wang.
Eric Gann.
Tanuka Gordon.
Arjun Gupta and Rayan Garg.
Kea Gupta.
Herbert Heller.
Dr. Belinda Hernandez Arriaga.
Mary Hidalgo.
Meredith Johnson.
Frank Lara.
Dan Swearingen and Janet Lawson.
Andrew Liu.
Carlos Martinez.
Lisa McNanny.
Becky Miller.
David Nayfeld and Dick Costello.
Ryan Nelson.
Tamra Peters.
Frank Plugoff and Bianca Nanzik.
Brendan Pergazem.
Gary and Pam Schroeder.
Judy Shills.
Sunny Singh.
Dr. Ahimsa Porter Sumchai,
Less So,
Dr. Gail Wagner,
Ayelet Waldman,
Ari Weisswasser,
Amy Wender Hoke,
Kate Wiley,
Kurt Yagi,
Joy Zhang and Madeline Dangerfield Cha,
Shirley Zindler. We found out about these winners because someone took the time to nominate them. If you know of an unsung community hero, please nominate them for a Jefferson Award. The online form is on our website, kpix.com/hero.
Thank you for joining in our celebration and recognizing that one person can make a difference.
And we hope that you too are inspired to volunteer. Thank you and good night.